पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी इति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा, प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा, जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा, गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा। हरि बोल। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददान्ति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतः पदकमलं श्रीगुरुर्वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्ता नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। जय। Welcome back to our regular Bhagavad Gita sessions. Today we will continue from yesterday. Today we are taking 16th chapter with the entitled, which is Divine and the Demonic Qualities, and today we will be covering 16.4 to 16.9. Also, so yesterday this 16th chapter specifically focuses on the divine qualities and the demonic qualities. And why are we given both the knowledge of both? Because we need to progress. In order to progress, we need to have a good understanding of the divine qualities. And when the demonic qualities are given, it gives us to understand where we stand. Because if we are a little honest and we are sincere in our attempt to progress in spiritual life, then we will be given the realization that to understand where I actually stand. So when we hear from the Supreme Lord about the demonic qualities and how they are not pleasing, and then if we can assess ourselves, then we can understand where we stand and we can grow from there. So there is a elaborate discussion. So yesterday we covered 1 to 3 shlokas, where in the third, all the 3 shlokas together, 26 qualities of divine personality was given, and certain qualities were more applicable to sannyasis, some were more applicable to householders, more applicable to brahmacharis, more applicable to different varnas and ashramas. Nonetheless, uh, every personality in every varna and ashrama has somewhere to do something. So that way, none of the qualities in 26 qualities, we can say that this is absolutely not for me. It doesn't work that way. But most of us as grahastas, we have so many nice points to take home. We need to give charity, because why that develops a sense of detachment in ourselves and creates the idea of selflessness, and also it purifies our existence. Then we should consciously avoid finding fault with others, however good others are at their work or at their behavior or at their presentation. If we have the fault finding mentality, we can go and find fault with anybody actually. So consciously we need to avoid that. Then cleanliness of the body. So there is cleanliness of the mind also. Ahimsa, not harming others even at their mental level, not giving unnecessary distress to any other living entity. So these are the few. Then truthfulness, very important to be truthful, honest, humble, not expect for name, fame. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement to specifically emphasizes on pranadapi sunijana. So all these are given. So in from 4th to 9, most of it, Krishna very much highlights on the demonic quality, because our Arjuna had a little confusion, because now he is going to fight now. So fighting means exhibiting anger, or why do we fight? Why do we kill others? So those kind of questions come now. So then somewhere Arjuna started thinking that, oh, I am a demon then. So my quality is a demonic quality. No, I don't want to exhibit my demonic quality. I would like to be in the side of the divine. So these kind of thoughts Arjuna started coming. So immediately in the next verses, clearly Krishna tells to Arjuna, you are divine because you are eternal servant, and you are fighting just for establishing dharma on the order of the supreme. So you are always on the divine side. And then he goes on in detail to explain the demonic nature, demonic qualities, what are their aspirations, what is their life, how difficult it is for them also. So this is very important for us to know, because somewhere or the we may not be 100% demonic, but we do have demonic nature. So only we are existing in the material world. Otherwise, there was no question of us existing in the material. We would all be in the spiritual world only. So it is very important for us to identify and rectify ourselves. So quickly we will start without any delay, sharing the screen. 16:4. Okay, Krishnamurti Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes.
Sri Bhagavanu Vacha.
16:4.
Mataji? Yes.
16:4.
Yes, Mataji. That only I am reading.
The Bhagavan Vacha is said, no, so I was confused.
Dambo darpobhimanascha krodha parushyameva ajnanam chabhijatasya partha sampadamasurim. Shall I read translation, Mataji?
Yes.
Translation by A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Prabhupada ki jai. Pride, arrogance, conceit, anger, harshness, and ignorance. These qualities belong to those who of demonic nature, O son of Prutha. Shall I?
You read a purport also.
Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. In this verse, the royal road to hell is described. The demonic want to make a show of religion and advancement in spiritual science. Although they do not follow the principles, they are always arrogant or proud in possessing some type of education or so much wealth. They desire to be worshipped by others and demands respectability. Although they do not command respect, overflies, they become very angry and speak harshly not gently. They do not know what should be done and what should not be done. They do everything whimsically according to their own desire, and they do not recognize any authority. These demonic qualities are taken on by them from the beginning of their bodies in the wombs of their mothers, and as they grow, they manifest all these inauspicious qualities. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yeah. So these demonic qualities, we all have a percentage of it. Even otherwise, at least we would have seen around us. And see, they beginning their bodies in the wombs of their mothers. That is, they already, it's an inherent quality of for them. Why it is inherent? It has become because in the previous lives they have a strong affinity towards such qualities. So now, interestingly, when we are alive, we want to protect our property, we want our house, we want our assets, everything we love so much to have it with us. But all of that we have to leave when we die. But in the mind, that pride, harshness, anger, all the shortcomings which are there in our subtle body, less intelligent or whatever, all that we don't want, but all that will come with us in the next life. So what we want, we have to leave. What we don't want, it will come with us. So we should be very careful how our subtle body is reacting, how our intelligence is working, how our mind is working. These are small things which no one else will observe. In course of time, everybody will understand, but initially we will know. We can rectify. In the first level, it is us who will know it. Second level, when we don't rectify it, others will also know it. Like that it is. So these things, we have an opportunity of having a human form of life. We have an opportunity of getting this knowledge today. And it is important we understand, okay, this I am having, whatever reason, and today I'm understanding that is not correct, then how can I rectify it? This is very important. Otherwise, see, what happens is they act whimsically. I mean, just I felt like doing this, I just did it. That's all. It is such a nuisance. They create misery for themselves, anyways, in this life and in the next life. They create miseries for others also. That way, their burden of karma just increases. So, and over trifles, they become angry for small things, simply irritated. Simply, some people are simply they get angry. And what they are proud of whatever. In fact, some people will have some education, have wealth, and then they are proud. That is one level. Another level is without having anything, also they can be proud. Pride is such a thing that it can make you feel that you are a pauper is proud of his penny, it seems like that it is. So this pride is that if somebody is very proud, no, for small, but there need not be any strong reason for him to become proud. For anything, he can become proud. And the desire to be worshipped by others, demanding respectability. These are all very subtle qualities which are very strongly, if it is there within us, it is very consciously only we can give it up. Otherwise, it is such qualities are so much degrading to our spiritual life. Because what happens in spiritual life? In spiritual life, we say Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. We should serve the devotees, and we should be aspire to be the servant of the servant of the servant of the devotees of Sri Krishna. So this is something a very humbling experience. And if you are very proud, then I said, no, I don't want temple, I don't want devotees. Okay, with Krishna, it's still okay. With the devotees, some human being like me and who is not in a proper apparent position like me, and I am supposed to be the servant, I am supposed to serve him. No, not possible. It is much against. Only when we have a strong understanding and a good intelligence to understand that even if I don't like it, if I do it, Krishna will please, my spiritual master will be pleased, the devotees will be pleased, and they are being pleased will help me in my journey towards the eternity. So if that understanding at least is there, then even if it is not our natural quality to be humble, we can consciously try to be humble. Okay, next one. Sindhu Mataji.
Yes, Mataji, Hari Bol. Text 5.
Yeah.
Text 5, translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Dhaivi sampad vimokshaya nibandaya suri mata Masucha sampadam daivim abhijatosi pandava.
Translation.
Translation: the transcendental qualities are conducive to liberation, whereas the demoniac qualities make for bondage. Do not worry, O son of Pandu, for you are born with the divine qualities.
Purport.
Purport: Lord Krishna encouraged Arjuna by telling him that he was not born with demoniac qualities. His involvement in the fight was not demoniac because he was considering the pros and cons. He was considering whether respectable persons such as Bhishma and Drona should be killed or not, or he was not acting under the influence of anger, false prestige, or harshness. Therefore, he was not of the quality of the demons. For a Kshatriya, a military man, shooting arrows at the enemy is considered transcendental, and refraining from such a duty is demoniac. Therefore, there was no cause for Arjuna to lament. Anyone who performs the regulative principles of the different orders of life is transcendentally situated.
Yeah. So
Thank you,
one
Mataji.
important quality here of a divine personality is when a situation arises, sometimes things are just going on normal, and that is a different thing. But a situation has come now in life, and we need to take decisions, or we are confused. Then sometimes things are very evident that the opposite person is wrong. It's very evident, and we need to take action. I know they are wrong. So a person in divine quality should stand back and not be carried over by his senses, but should use his good intelligence, as Arjuna was doing here, work out on the pros and cons. What is good, what is bad, what is to be done, what is not to be done. Take guidance and then act. This is one of the important quality of a divine personality with divine nature. Otherwise, a person in demonic nature just acts whimsically. I didn't like it. How can he tell this? How can he do this? And I just tit for tat. No, that may immediately show some good result, apparent good result, that yeah, the other person learned his lesson, but it will not work for long and it will come back. Means even the situation may actually not improve. Rather than, it would be better if a thoughtful decision was taken and thoughtful action was exhibited. So this is one important quality of a divine personality which we should consciously imbibe. And here Prabhupada says that anyone who performs regulative principles of the different orders of life is transcendentally situated. Means based on our varnas and ashramas, we should act accordingly. But sometimes what happens is we ourselves a little confused with our do I have brahminical qualities or do I have kshatriya qualities? Sometimes I get angry that time. So these kind of things are there. So we should always be under spiritual guidance. That will help us. In spiritual guidance, we should be there. And anyways, we should know that there are no more kshatriyas, proper kshatriyas here. So we do not have rights to kill anybody else. So that is not possible. So brahminical also, what happens is, in our case, we have very little mixed modes, mixed natures, that sometimes we tend to be very in mode of prominently in the mode of goodness. So we cannot conclude that I am always like a brahmana, like that. So, but if we are for a certain long period of time, if we have consciously practiced, then we can say that we are prominently in this particular this is our strong nature, like that. Nonetheless, devotees of the Lord who are sadhana bhaktas and who are consciously practicing the Krishna conscious principles, they naturally are Vaishnavas. Vaishnavas are beyond Brahmanas also, and these divine qualities should be, they are they should be adorned by this qualities. This is what Prabhupada expected from us, and if we are not in that level, we should consciously imbibe it with us. Sudha Mataji, 16:6.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandakrama.
Dandavats.
द्वौ भूतसर्गौ लोकेऽस्मिन् दैव आसुर एव च दैवो विस्तरश प्रोक्ता आसुरं पार्थ मे शृणु. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. O son of Prata, in this world there are two kinds of created beings. One is called the divine and the other demoniac. I have already explained to you at length the divine qualities. Now hear from me of the demoniac. Purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Lord Krishna, having assured Arjuna that he was born with the divine qualities, is now describing the demoniac way. The conditions living entities are divided into two classes in this world. Those who are born with divine qualities follow a regulated life. That is to say, they abide by the injunctions in scriptures and by the authorities. One should perform duties in the light of authoritative scripture. This mentality is called divine. One who does not follow the regulative principles as they are laid down in the scriptures and who acts according to his whims is called demoniac or asuric. There is no other criterion but obedience to the regulative principles of scriptures. It is mentioned in Vedic literature that both the demigods and the demons are born of the Prajapati. The only difference is that one class obeys the Vedic injunctions and the other does not. Thank you,
Very
Mataji. Hare
beautiful.
Krishna.
Here Krishna again elaborates on the demonic part, because divine part he has elaborated with the 26 qualities. So his more and more of demonic qualities are being explained by Krishna. Very important one point is the clear distinction between a divine and a demonic person is a divine personality abides by the Vedic injunctions. One is to know the Vedic injunctions. If we don't even know, where is the question of following? That is a different thing. To know means what? To read, understand. To we for sadhaka bhaktas, what does that mean? Means to read shastric books, to read Prabhupada's books regularly. When we read Prabhupada's books, Prabhupada has made all the attempt to make everybody understand what is right, what is not right. So for us, it means to read Prabhupada books on a regular basis, on a daily basis, actually. So that way, only when we are connected with the scriptures, then there is a question of understanding that this is not written in the scriptures. I'm doing something against the scriptures. That is one thing. Second thing is knowing what is there in the scriptures, but consciously following it, even if it is much against my nature and it is much against my my ego. Uh, and it clearly, by following the scriptures, it will clearly mean that I am wrong, you are right, and it would clearly mean to the whole world that, oh, you are wrong, I was wrong. All this can happen, but this is what the scriptures say. I have done a mistake and I need to follow the Vedic injunctions. So this is very important, because sometimes even if we are good, no, uh, situations by some push, means by the internal push, or by whatever mistake, because we are living in the material world, there could be 100 reasons for doing a mistake. So even if a person is apparently of a divine nature, most of the time he may fall prey to and end up doing wrong things. But if he is actually a divine personality, even though he has done mistakes, he knows the scriptures and he will come back. So that is what. So Ajamila's case, he was a Pakka Brahmana. After 40 years, nicely, morning, evening, 3 times, he was always throughout with the scriptures, following all the rules and regulations of a Brahmana he was doing. And then he ended up seeing some obscene scene, and he got lusty, and he ended up doing most abominable things another 40 years, because he ended up living with a prostitute and having so many children with her. Now he is 80 plus, and at the beginning of his youth he has drifted away, but he was a divine personality, means he had the divine nature, and so he understands that this is right, this is not right. No, at that time what happens is, at the end, at almost when he was 80 plus, then he dies. He's on his deathbed, and at that time he apparently he by chance calls up his son's name. Now it is told that he calls out his son's name, and his son's name was Narayana. This was arranged by the Lord, because he had that previous backup from his youth. Also, when he called out for Narayana, when that moment he called out, he was actually completely, for that moment he called out with the uh, complete focus and prayerful mood. Like that, he called up Narayana, although it was to his son only. So, by uttering that Narayana, immediately he was saved by the Vishnu Dutas. The point is, after that, he understands. See, I have been given a chance now. I have drifted away, but still Lord remembered whatever I had done little before. So now I have been helped by the Supreme Lord. So now, and he knew the scriptures because he had read it. And he understood that now I have to perform austerity. So he lived for another 12 years. After 8 years, after he kind of encountered a death situation, but he actually did not die. And he lived for another 12 years. And that 12 years, immediately he went to Badrikashrama and he lived an austere life and he perfected his life. How did that happen? That happened because he had knowledge of the scriptures and he chose to take the right path, although he had drifted away. It is that much we should do. So ideally, we should not do mistakes, but if we end up doing, we should have that humility to step back and rectify ourselves. And for all that, we need to study Prabhupada books in the first place to know what is right, what is not right. Okay, we'll move on to the next one. Padma Mataji, 16:7.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Pravrittim cha nivrittim cha janana vidurasuraha na saucham na pichacharo na satyam te suvidyate. All glories to Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Those who are demonic do not know what is to be done and what is not to be done. Neither cleanliness nor proper behavior nor truth is found in them. In every civilized human society, there is some set of scriptural rules and regulations which is followed from the beginning, especially among the Aryans. Those who adopt the Vedic civilization and who are known as the most advanced civilized people, those who do not follow the scriptural injunctions are supposed to be demons. Therefore, it is stated here that the demons do not know the scriptural rules, nor do they have any inclination to follow them. Most of them do not know them, and even if some of them know, they have not the tendency to follow them. They have no faith, nor are they willing to act in terms of the Vedic injunctions. The demons are not clean, either externally or internally. One should always be careful to keep his body clean by bathing, brushing teeth, shaving, changing clothes, etc. As far as internal cleanliness is concerned, one should always remember the holy names of God, and chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. The demons neither like nor follow all these rules for external and internal cleanliness.
Yeah, so now
Anybody wants to read?
So we have now, so this is not very surprising nowadays actually. We actually see most of the population do not have any idea of the scriptures, nor they're interested to know about it, nor they have faith in it. That is the sad part of the modern world actually, because they consider that who is Vyasdev? Vyasdev is a person like you and me, and I can also write books. Why he has to write, and his book why we should read, and why should he consider about his? So much they argue that our situation is like we follow Prabhupada and we are not very paka with what we have to reply, and sometimes we keep quiet and sometimes we try to say something, they overpower us, and then we are like sidelined, and so all this can happen. But the point is that requires a little humility. If they have some people have no access to scriptures, unfortunately, but we, as Prabhupada has given us the opportunity to distribute books, we can help them. So that way in India, there is no shortage of ways of getting scriptures. So that is not a problem right now. Problem is whether are we inclined to buy it, or if we buy it, are we inclined to read it? If we read it, are we inclined to follow it? So these are the different steps that happens. And even cleanliness also. One is internal cleanliness, where Prabhupada says that we need to chant the holy names. That is very important for us devotees also. If you are chanting our regular whatever prescribed number of rounds in a very attentive way, naturally and automatically during the day also they are always vibrating in the inner consciousness of our mind. It helps actually. It helps. And anything little small thing happens also, sometimes trivial things also, suddenly we remember the Lord all the time. So that is internal cleanliness. And in course of time, we may not feel all light coming out from our face right now, but because there is a thick conditioning that is there from previous lifetimes, but nonetheless that cleansing process has started, and we are in the process of being clean. That is, we are under the shower, like that they say. That is one part. Second thing is that is internal cleanliness. External cleanliness, devotees naturally do it, but unfortunately, the common people, if we see some people, they just get up at like 9 o'clock in the morning and they just put some, just dress up and go to office. And in the evening, when they come back, they nicely take bath and they have sufficient sense gratification. The whole purpose of keeping yourself clean is for sense gratification. Like that, it becomes the objective of life only is totally deviated. Totally deviated. When what is morning, what is evening? When one personality was telling, they get up at 8 o'clock in the morning. 8 o'clock and just getting up and doing basic something to eat, something, some cooking they do. And that husband goes and the wife sleeps again at 10 o'clock. She'll sleep again at 10 o'clock. From 10 o'clock to 1 o'clock, she will sleep. Now what will happen is that husband will come back in the evening, 5 o'clock, 5 or 6 or something. He'll come and he'll sleep for 2 hours. Now at 8 o'clock, they all take bath. And then 9 o'clock they dinner, something they do until morning 3 o'clock they watch movies. 3 o'clock, 3:30, 4 o'clock, and then they sleep and get up at 8 o'clock, and then next day it is. So like that and all, when we hear only, we feel very crazy actually. Like what time we sleep, what time we get, what 10 o'clock morning, night, we get confused. So that is the present world. That is how it has been running actually. Padmamaji read, no? Nandini Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, this is Hema at Nandini's house. So sorry, I just log in through her number. As for behavior, there are many rules and regulations guiding human behavior, such as the Manu Samhita, which is the law of human race. Even up to today, those who are Hindu follow the Manu Samhita. Laws of inheritance and other legalities are derived from the book. Now, in the Manu Samhita, it is clearly stated that a woman should not be given freedom. That does not mean that women are to be kept as slaves, but they are like children. Children are not given freedom, but that does not mean that they are kept as slaves. The demons have now neglected such injunctions, and they think that the women should be given as much freedom as men. However, this has not improved the social condition of the world. Actually, a woman should be given protection at every stage of life. She should be given protection by the father in her younger days, by the husband in her youth, and by grown-up sons in her old age. This is proper social behavior according to the Manu Samhita. But modern education has artificially devised a puffed-up concept of womanly life, and therefore marriage is practically now an imagination in human society. Nor is the moral condition of women very good now. Women very good now. The demons, therefore, do not accept any instructions which is good for society.
No, you missed one sentence actually. Therefore, marriage is practically now an imagination human society. The next sentence.
Nor is the moral condition of women very good now. The demons, therefore, do not accept any instruction which is good for society, and because they do not follow the experience of great sages and the rules and regulations laid down by the sages, the social condition of the demonic people is very miserable. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Yeah, so one we can really see that the social condition is very miserable. That is very clear. And another thing is, it always surprises me. Now, Srila Prabhupada has written this purport when he wrote this purport in 1965, like that, 1966. So it is how many years? 35 and 35, 40, 60 years back. So now 60 years back, he is telling that time the situation was much, 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 much better. But it is so relevant today. It is so relevant what he is talking. Everything is so very relevant. The feminism that has come up, and see, marriage is here. He wrote somewhere, no, the marriage is considered as it's very, therefore marriage is practically now an imagination in the human society. It is actually like that. It has become. People are questioning, why do we actually really need to get married? And anyways, after marriage, if you don't like, immediately there is divorce. It is so many things is so much rampant in the society. And there, Prabhupada 60 years back is telling the social condition of the demonic people is very miserable. It is so very relevant. does not even seem that, oh, these are bygone days and now things are not like that. How can he? No. So it is told that whatever acharyas speak, whatever the scriptures say, they are ever fresh. They are ever fresh. There is no old age for the scriptures, because every moment, for every person, it is so much relevant. Just that we should have that little humility to understand it, and little prayerful mood we should have to think that, oh Lord, let me able to read one line which is more which helps me. And every page has so much knowledge in it. It is loaded with knowledge that from there, if we pick up also, we can improve our life. So that is the speciality of the scriptures and the acharyas. Next one, devotees, raise your hands. 16:8. Yes, Krishnamurti Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes.
16.
8.
16:8. असत्यम अप्रतिष्ठन्ते जगदाहुरनीश्वरम् अपरस्पर संभूतम किमन्यत् कामहैतुकम्. Translation by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada ki Jai. They say that this world is unreal, with no foundation, no God is control. They say it is produced of sex desire and has no cause of other than lust.
Okay, Prabhuji, we will ask purport. Anyone else? Swati Mataji, you can read the purport.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Purport.
Yes.
The demonic conclude that the world is phantasmagoria. There is no there is no cause and effect, no controller, no purpose. Everything is unreal. They say that this cosmic manifestation arises due to chance, material actions and reactions. They do not think that the world was created by God for a certain purpose. They have their own theory that the world has come about in its own way and that there is no reason to believe that there is a God behind it. For them, there is no difference between the spirit and matter, and they do not accept the supreme spirit. Everything is matter only. And the whole cosmos is supposed to be a mass of ignorance. According to them, everything is void, and whatever manifestation exists is due to our ignorance in perception. They take it for granted that all manifestation of diversity is a display of ignorance. Just as in a dream, we may create so many things which actually have no existence. Then, when we are awake, we shall see that everything is simply a dream. But factually, although the demons say that the life is a dream, they are very expert in enjoying this dream. And so, instead of acquiring knowledge, they become more and more implicated in their im- implicated in their dreamland. They conclude that a child is simply the result of sexual intercourse between the man and woman. This world is born without any soul. For them, it is only a combination of matter that has produced the living entity, and there is no question of existence of the soul. As many living creatures come out of from the perspiration and from a dead body without any cause. The whole living world has come out of material combinations of the cosmic manifestation. Therefore, the material nature is the cause of this manifestation, and there is no other cause. They do not believe in the words of Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, Maya Dakshena Prakriti Suyatesha Characharam. Under my direction, the whole material world is moving. In other words, among the demons, there is no perfect knowledge of the creation of the world. Every one of them has some particular theory of its own. According to them, one interpretation of the scriptures is as good as another, for they do not believe in a standard understanding of the spiritual injunctions. Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you.
So what happens is, see, now if I say there is scriptures, there is God, if I believe in something, then the question comes that there is a little cut for my independence. Then I have to listen to someone. I have to abide by some rules, regulation. So people now, they don't want to be guided by anything. They don't want to be controlled by anyone. I want to be the controller. I want to be the master. So I am very much stuck with this understanding, and so I I say that there is no God. I say that, oh, the scriptures are bogus. There is no God. There is no soul. See, because now if I say there is no logic to what they are telling, there is no intelligence involved, nor logic is involved, nor guidance is involved. See, if I claim telling that there is no God, there is God, there is no God. It's all combination of matter because of science, because of chemistry, whatever reason this has come into situation system. Now, if you ask deep questions, they will not have answer. If I say that, how then, how can you predict how things are moving in its, how the cosmos is working as it is working, why there is no disruption, for that and all, they do not have answer. Even otherwise, even if you see human beings also, some are born rich, some are born poor, some are beautiful, some are not beautiful, some are famous, some are very defamed, some are very poverty stricken. So many changes, so many different kinds of people we see around us. What is the answer for that? Then why if everything is written, why it happens like that? No, because see, if suppose there is no concept of karma, then where is the question of so much differences? The point is, when I accept karma, when I accept injunction scriptures, then I become accountable for all my words, deeds, and actions. I become accountable. Then I need to be careful. I cannot act whimsical because I understand that whatever I do say, then I'm carrying with me something with me. If I am harming others, then I am carrying so much of sinful reactions with me. If I am giving charity, then so much of pious credits I'm carrying with me. Only when I'm doing a karma, I do not. So every thought, I have a choice to do this or to do that, and this will please Lord. So all complications come, apparent complications come in mind, that anything I just cannot see something and eat off. Then I have to think whether it is no onion or garlic, whether it is offered, whether it is prasad, is it clean, can I eat there? Now, is it the right time to eat? And did I do my morning sadhana before it? Now, 10 reasons come when I see that food. Then most of the time that will be like, no, not now. Then I have to restrict my sense of eating. Now, that is a if I feel that yes, Lord help me, Lord's mercy, I have got this good understanding, I am approaching, Lord is happy with me. If that kind of understanding, if I carry and go back, then I'm happy. But if I carry and go, see, now I've started following this, because of this I'm not able to eat that. Otherwise, arams I could have gone and eat, and I could have eaten. Now, because I have been thrown so much of information, now it is like so many questions I've comes in my mind before I do whatever my action. So if I consider it as a burden, then I tend to come out of the path. If I consider it as an opportunity, where if I understand that it's progressing, I'm progressing in a spiritual life. Today, I'm able to restrict my senses and come out and go home without eating something what I have seen. So then, if I consider it as an opportunity, then there is one way of one direction. Otherwise, it's other direction. So that is what Prabhupada is telling is, common people, it becomes very easy if they consider that there is no scriptures, there is no laws, there is no godman, there is no Lord, there is nothing which you can just live. There is no soul. No soul, you say, and you just kill and eat everything. And when we understand that there is soul, then we understand that there is karma, and this life, if I kill, next life they will kill me. All that understanding comes. If I say there is no soul, then aram se I can eat. And they say that everything else is like a dream only. And Prabhupada says nicely they enjoy in their dream. So they consider this whole world is made for me to enjoy. So we exploit the material nature also. With all that, we exploit the material nature, that I enjoy it fully and leave nothing for the next one to enjoy. So I just kill the material nature and I go. So that has become the attitude, and that is the reason of so much disturbance in the society nowadays. Okay, we'll move on to the last shloka for today, Sindhu Mataji. Shloka and translation, you read.
Yes, Mataji.
Yes.
Text 9. Text 9. Etam drishtim avastabhya nashtatmano ipha buddhayah prabhavanti ugra karmanah shayaya jagato hitaha. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Following such conclusions, the demoniac who are lost to themselves and who have no intelligence engaged in unbeneficial, horrible works meant to destroy the world. Purport: the demoniac are engaged in activities that will lead the world to destruction. The Lord states here that they are less intelligent. The materialistic who have no concept of God think that they are advancing, but according to Bhagavad Gita, they are unintelligent and devoid of all sense. They try to enjoy this material world to the utmost limit and therefore always engage in inventing something for sense gratification. Such materialistic inventions are considered to be advancement of human civilization, but the result is that people grow more and more violent and more cruel to animals, more and more cruel to animals and cruel to other human beings. They have no idea how to behave towards one another. Animal killing is very prominent amongst demoniac people. Such people are considered the enemies of the world because ultimately they will invent or create something which will bring destruction to all. Indirectly, this verse anticipates the invention of nuclear weapons, of which the whole world is today very proud. At any moment, war may take place, and these atomic weapons may create havoc. Such things are created solely for the destruction of the world, and this is indicated here. Due to godlessness, such weapons are invented in human society. They are not meant for peace and prosperity of the world.
Yeah, actually,
Hare
what is
Krishna.
happening is because of the increase of demonic nature, now the world is being completely exploited. That is the reason all the resources are used for self-sense gratification. So petroleum, if you see so many things, so much of pollution is there, so much of exploitation is there, and so much of anxiety has been created. That see, so one thing is demonic nature, just harming myself, just restricting my journey towards the spiritual world. That is one level, that is still okay, that is I'm just restricting myself. But they create havoc in the society, and by doing so it causes so much of destruction, so much of disturbance in the life of even common people, even regular people who really want to strive and pursue the path of righteousness. So that is the nature that has been rampant in the present day society. And that too, the meat eating, these things. I had seen one, somebody was mentioning about one video about in Australia, about the cow killing kind of thing. The cows, one is killing, before killing also, how they are treated, how the milk is removed from those cows, how they inject machines into their udders, and very painfully the milk is extracted from their udders, and the baby is not there, and it is such a painful situation that cow is literally crying, so much of tears are coming from that cow, and that machine is pushed into her udder, and it has been extracted, and so much of food is been fed, so that so much of milk just keeps coming. So only that veganism has started, because that dairy concept has become so painful, especially outside India. In India, still things are still in a better place. Actually, how the cows are treated, we have still people of some communities where the cows are treated well, and milk is it's go green milk, actually, what we get at least. But in the Western world, there are places where they're treated in such a heinous way. So only dairy products are kind of people are avoiding nowadays. So, and the baby child, the child of that cow, it is when it is young only, it is killed for flesh. And these elderly cows, they give milk, and they're still very healthy, and kind of their milk production is less. Immediately, in such a fearful way, they are slaughtered, that it is impossible to see. Only it's impossible to see. It wonders that what kind of reactions they may get, for what kind of things, that kumbhipaka hell we call, no, definitely like that only they are doing for these cows, actually. So the world is really getting into a very in a very wrong direction. And so only Prabhupada and Acharyas say that today, if we have uh, the Krishna conscious path in our hand, and we know what is right, we know what is wrong, we have the scriptures with us, we have the place, circumstances, temples. Still we are in a time in the world where the temples are existing, devotees are existing. There is freedom to go to temple, there is freedom to chant the holy names, it's freedom to perform Nagar Sankirtan, and it is freedom to wear devotee dress. Still the world is not so bad that when devotees are seen, they are shoot. That is not there, and we cannot say that will never be there also, because Kali Yuga will be there for another 4,25,000 years, and still only 5,000-6,000 years have passed, and now the situation is like this, and another 4 lakhs years means it seems there will be a time where the devotees will be hiding like that. It is not possible for the devotees to come out. So at least today we are in a more comfortable situation comparatively, that what can happen in the future. So now let's pray and hope that to make our life more and more suitable for devotional services, and make our life perfect, because we have an opportunity and we are quite old, and few more years, one lifetime, we can serve for, give it for us Krishna, and do the needful. We may have a strong psychophysical nature, which is very difficult to overcome, but consciously, if we are sincere, we are prayerful, God will help, and we can make our life perfect in this lifetime only, so that the future lifetimes, if we come back in this material world, it's very, very difficult situation actually. All right, thank you very much for your patient listening.
Hare Krishna Mataji, I want to ask you this. Lord Chaitanya, that golden period, out of that 5,000 years have 500 years have already passed, right?
Yes.
So we have only another 500 years.
The golden period, 10,000 years is what I heard.
10,000 years. So how much is passed? Already finished?
500 only, na?
500 only passed. So there is still more time. So Mataji, another thing is that the milk, when they are harming the cows so much, no, it really hurts us. It hurts our mind even when you imagine this. No, I've seen films also. So is it good for us to drink milk?
No,
Vegans,
no. Means, so that only in India still, we can see the source. We can find out the source. Na? So nowadays there are so many kinds of milk, so we can go to them. We can have an idea of what is the source we have. So still milk is okay. So only that vegan concept has started now outside India. Vegan concept means no consuming dairy products because of the so because definitely it affects our consciousness now. Because it is so much painful. She has given milk, and that milk when we drink, no, it affects our consciousness. So then it is better that many of the devotees, when they are outside India, they don't take milk products. Actually, we have so much alternatives nowadays, almond and peanut and something and all is there. But that is very painful. Otherwise,
they make curd also out of cashew nuts, Mataji. Vegan people.
Yeah, there is a lot of things. Cashew nuts,
almonds is
there.
They don't eat
coconut milk is very rampant.
Paneer they don't eat. They use soya. Tofu
soy
they use.
Quite few things. Naturally, all this milk, like Prabhupada said, milk is nice because that natural taste comes by milk only. But still, we have options instead of drinking painful milk. It is good to have other alternatives.
Yes. Thank you, Mataji.
But in ISKCON, milk is only main, no, Mataji. Milk and sweets, paneer.
That only sometimes we are Bharat Bhumile. We are in India. Things are very much in our favor. Actually.
At least over here, they have stopped killing cows, animal, cow slaughter. They have stopped.
Depends on the political party also. Yes. So hopefully things will continue like that.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Thank you,
Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Mataji. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji.
Yes. Hare Krishna. Bhuvana Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
You're finishing?
Yes, Mataji. Yes, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Mataji, with your permission, I'm just ending, Mataji. Oh, she left. Okay. Thank you, dear devotees.